Hey guys, in this video I'll be explaining the essentially a job that essentially scrapes all the reviews about universities and school and essentially ingests this data into Elasticsearch. So I'll be showing you a demo on how this pipeline works. So let me show you a demo. So as you can see here, again, just for the demonstration purposes, I'm showing you on the UI, but this is gonna be in the headless mode, right? So what you are seeing is every single time it goes to a university, and if there is any reviews, it's gonna scrape those reviews, and then essentially prints the summary report here, right? So now if you observe, I have my dashboard here on Elasticsearch. This updates in real time. For example, total I have 6 schools that have been scraped so far, and total there are 63 reviews, right? So essentially I can add more and more KPIs here, and as you can see, right, so it's gonna go, if you observe this, so I just want to show you. So at the end, after scraping, as you can see, right, it's scraping here, right, and at the end it prints the summary of how many reviews it has scraped. So here for this university, it did scrape 20 reviews, and it ingested the 20 reviews into Elasticsearch. If I refresh here, as you can see, the count is increasing, right? So now an amazing architecture would be, I just want to touch based upon the architecture is, so the way we would develop this on cloud, if you want to, of course I'm running on my computer. I'm not going to run on my computer for all the 5,000 universities. So I have an architecture. What I have done here is I have an SNS and an SQS. So essentially all these, the reviews, the universities for which I want to scrape the reviews, right? It's gonna put that payload into the, it's gonna dump the payload to the SNS, and it's gonna be on the SQS. Now from here, comes my serverless, lambdas, right? So these are gonna fire up my lambda functions, and remember, lambdas are gonna be using Selenium in a headless mode. It's gonna use Selenium in a headless mode, and it's gonna fan out, and it's gonna scrape multiple sites in parallel, right? So as you can see right now, of course, it's doing the job great, right? For every particular university, if it finds a review, it's gonna scrape, and it essentially also shows me the KPI, how many reviews have been scraped so far, right? 106 reviews, 10 school has been scraped so far, right? It's pretty great because now think about it. When you develop application, now you definitely want to scale those applications, right? And AWS provides you an ability to scale your application, right? In this case, I'm scaling my scrapers on Lambda functions, right? And anything that goes wrong, I would simply put it into a dead letter queue, and I can have an SMS email notification saying that, hey, for this site it has failed, or I can put the metadata of the failed universities on S3, right? It's really fun to have this thing implemented from scratch. By the way, also I want to say the entire monitoring system also, I have essentially monitoring every single step as well during this process, right? So I have Datadog, and I've implemented everything by myself, right? And it was really, really fun. So I'll show you Elasticsearch matrix here, an overview. So I should be able to see the matrix and how my cluster is performing, and everything is on my home server. That is the beautiful part about it, right? So if you come here, and I just want to show you a glimpse of, so just give me a second. So of course, last 5 minutes, right? So here you could see, once it loads, I'll show you, right? So here I can see how much disk space is used, right? I could see all the very valuable analytics here, right? For example, number of documents in the cluster, right? As you can see, number of documents in the cluster, right? All these metadata, I could view it on a amazing dashboard, right? I have all the KPIs here, right? So as you can see, my search query, then I have elastic document count growth, right? I have that. Every single KPI I can watch here, right? Not only that, I can also watch how my Docker containers are performing. I can easily schedule these scrapes on a container as well. I don't have to run it on my computer, right? So now I can also monitor like the logs. Is my container healthy? Is it running? I can monitor the CPU, the memory, and all these amazing details, right? So I strongly recommend you guys also to try these projects out, right? If you want to learn something, I think the best way to do is get your hands dirty. So sit on a weekend, take your computer, take a juice or something, and just try to implement a project from scratch, right? Install everything, monitoring, logging, and see if you can do that, right? That's the way you wanna approach things, right? Just look at this. This is flawless, right? Like, let me show my screen here. So yeah, it's still running, right? For, as you can see, it's still scraping all these schools reviews for me, and it's updating these reviews in real time into out, right? So now if I come here, I can show you. So hopefully you guys can see, right? So I have the review date, review major, right? Who did the review, what is the review, and the review hash key. The hash key is essentially to avoid duplicates, like essentially compute a hash of the entire review. So if there is a similar or same review, it's gonna override, and it would be taken care. So right, it's amazing, right? End to end, and it's updating real time, as you can see, right? All the universities reviews are being scraped. Thank you so much for watching, and I encourage you guys to try things out, to learn on your free time. That's the best way you can learn things out. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.